This Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. I got news for you today. We need to be who we are. We need to be who we are. Do you know people that every time you meet them, you don't know exactly who you're going to meet? One day you meet this guy, he's a car salesman. And he's talking about and bragging about what he can do as a car salesman. And a little while later you're talking to him and he's something else. A little while later you talk to him, he's something else. And every time you meet him, you can meet him 10 times during the day. 10 times during the day, he'll give you 10 different impressions. And what you go away with is the impression that you've met a nut. You met somebody who doesn't know who he is, who doesn't know what his real calling is, who doesn't know what he is supposed to be. He becomes a producer at the end of the year of nothing. The car dealership doesn't want him anymore because his mind is confused. He's like a termite in a yo-yo. And he may be selling a car to somebody and then talking about some other entity at the same time, and then end up talking about something, losing a sale. Or people say, man, that guy is he's way off the wall. And so we need to be as we are. We need to be who we are and what we are. We need to be careful that we don't become like an actor who has done 4 or 5 roles in his life and he's got all mixed up and he forgot who he was and don't know who he is. You've got him in a new movie, in a new scene, and he's bringing up from the past scene or the old scene. Doesn't belong in this script at all. You must be like an actor in a sense that you can leave the script of yesterday totally behind you and get in the script of today. I've been doing some excerpts about living in the day, living today, not living yesterday and not living tomorrow, but living in the day. And another thing, who are you? Living who you are. Don't try to be somebody. You know, when I first got saved, I went and heard this great orator, great preacher preach. I pinned it all down and I tried to preach that message. No way, Jose. I'm not him. And I can't preach his message. I have to be me and preach the message God gives me, and that's the message I can preach. I can't preach another man's message. I have to preach what God gives me. We're living in a world that's a stage. If you please, it's like a big playhouse, and there's a stage and we're on it. But we're not marionettes with strings and puppets. God doesn't use us like puppets. He gives us a volition. He gives us a mental ability right here in the frontal lobe of our mind to be able to follow Him. The heart of our mind right here can concentrate on God, can follow what God would have us do. Do you know that if He woke me up this morning, He had a plan for me today? What is that plan? The first part of this day, and it's after dinner now, it's been a long day, but He had a plan for me to be right here and do some speaking on these PH tidbits. And do my own role. Do the role that I was called to do by Him. This is the role I was called to do by Him for this time. A little later, He'll have me go to the hospital and visit some people for that time. Then He'll have me do this or do that. But the encores of life come in just like a play acting with encores on a stage. And they change. We may be in a hilariously funny scene for a few minutes, and then we may be in a scene of hilariously tough. Wow. We went from this great joyous scene to a very tough scene. A little while later, we may come out again on the floodlights are pointed on us, and here we are in another hilarious scene. And life is like that. It's like a roller coaster. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. Some of those hills we go down a lot faster than we go up. You remember get on that roller coaster, man. Woo! You got your hands up and you're screaming. All of a sudden, there you go. Going up that hill. Right on the top. Uh-oh. Here we go. Man. And there's the free fall. Free fall sometimes can be good. Sometimes won't be so good. You remember the first mail people there were in the world, they were Pony Express. You know they weren't very fast, but they got where they were going. They finished the job at the pace they could do it. Now we can put a letter in the mail. It can go from here to the airport and get on an airplane tomorrow morning, be delivered overseas. Wow. Pony Express never could have got it over there. But we're in a different world today. We're play actors in a different world today, but our play acting is supposed to be normal. It's supposed to be us, who we are. And it's supposed to be absent of drama. Our Christian life, if you're a Christian, you've asked Jesus, forgive you of your sin, come in your heart and save your soul. You're not supposed to have drama in your life. What other people may call drama in your life doesn't have to be drama to you. So you are laying in the hospital. Somebody says you're terminal. Well, you're terminal anyway, whether they tell you that or not. What makes you think that you're any more terminal laying there with cancer than you would be driving down the road, something not hit you broadside and you're in heaven? I mean, we're all headed to the same place, and when we go, it's going to be instant. And so we're just on different trails going. We're on different dimensions going, but we're all going the same place. And we're all going to get there just as quick. It's going to be an instant. Death is instant. We don't need a lot of drama. We actually don't need an audience. We're going to go whether we got an audience or not. So we need to be ourselves while we're alive. We need to be who we are. If you are a dooms type person, change your way and become cheerful. Show people God's real. If you're a gloom and doom person and God shows you as cheerful, you're going to be able to show God to people. They said, "Man, what happened to that guy? Man, he was gloom and doom. Look at him. He's cheerful now." Be not an imitator, but be yourself. Freshly cut out of a new piece of cloth on a daily basis. Wow. Independent of gloom and doom. Independent of the bitterness and the bad things that are in the world. From your heart, be a better person. From your heart. And God said to Moses, "I am that I am." Wow. Be a good listener. Especially if you're in the majority. Be a good listener. Wow. Just listen to a person. Let them talk to you. Just stand there and listen. Go to the hospital and visit. Give your spiritual greetings and then listen. After you hear what's said, do your prayer time for them. Pray for them. And whatever they said, incorporate it in your prayer. That God will take it and pass it on. So when you pray, people will listen every day. The run of people would pay for you to come pray, and you're supposed to go pray because it's your duty. So you go pray because it's your duty. You may not be popular with most of the world, but you will be popular at that bedside. You will be doing what God said. You be a good listener. You be a good prayer warrior. And God will do something and show people something through you that they will want to have when they get out of that place where they are. Let's not let the place ruin us. See you next time. Bye-bye.